Okay, welcome back to our group coaching session. This is a Track Soulful Love group coaching session for the month of March. It's the 8th day of March 2025, and before the break we were speaking about the importance of being secure, being self-full, supporting your satisfaction in your life, growing yourself up, having a relationship with your Creator, experiencing being taken care of, being a person who's caring for yourself, opening up to enjoying your life where you're authentic, and then extending a caring for yourself that you can allow other people to care for you. Will you allow yourself to be cared for? So a lot of women say that they want a partner, I want a partner, I want to get married. And what we're talking about here is getting yourself soulfully married. And we're talking about receiving a partner. And I was saying to you before the break that men want women for all kinds of different reasons. And you've got to be very careful. So the only way to really move forward is to move forward responsibly, getting yourself soulfully married, meaning you creating yourself to be soulfully married. Soulfully means like spirit, soulfully means like heart. Soulfully married means you experiencing being a satisfied woman. You want to be a woman who's not complaining. Okay, usually people end up being the girls who are complaining. He's like this, he's like that, he doesn't do this for me. So this is inviting you to become a woman, an adult woman, and support your adult woman satisfaction. That's what we're looking at here. So if you are operating as a child, you don't have a proper relationship with God, depending on people, depending on yourself, other people are depending on you, you're scared to receive from others, that's an issue that must be addressed. Open up and recognize that there is a power. You are a creation of the power is taking care of you, it's taking care of everybody. You don't have to make the earth spin. You can actually ease up and know that God is loving and supportive of you. And yes, we all sin and we can all learn, grow and develop, and God is compassionate and merciful for those who are moving in that direction. So you can be interested in a spiritual development, and you can then become personally developed. You can become this person who's really caring for you and for your body and your life, and you have a life even before you are married. You're enjoying yourself, you're enjoying your life. You have boundaries. You're self-respecting, you have boundaries. I also alerted you that if people show interest in you, how to always put the boundary there. To say, well, I'm not really ready at this particular point for marriage. And when people start wanting and encroaching to your time and your space and calling you, instead of being a naive little girl and getting all excited, you realize you're in it for the spousal satisfaction. You don't want to just be a man's object, unless you do. Some women want to be a man's object. They look at you, they see you're a naive girl, you got money, you got a body, have their way with you. Be that, be that. But what we're talking about here is a woman who's respecting herself, her body, her life. She's respecting her future. She's satisfied in her life. She's looking to go to the next level of life. And now she's interested in spousal satisfaction. So notice the difference there. We are talking about a developmental process that you actually grow up. Now, some of us have issues from childhood that are unaddressed. In fact, all of us have issues from childhood that are unaddressed. Some more intense than others, but you can address it. And this is what self-attending includes, the meaning of it. How do you feel as a person? The inner child in you, the experience that you had growing up, that child is operating in your life. Is it stressed? Is it feeling guilty? Is it feeling shameful? Is it living, feeling abandoned, alone, and all that sort of thing? This is where you get to attend to yourself. This is where you get to do work on yourself. Like, what was my childhood like? What were the effects of my parents' unconsciousness and subconscious living and tribal unconsciousness? That, I grew up in this kind of situation, and this is what my needs were not met, and so on and so forth. This is where you attend to yourself. You know what I mean? You actually attend to you and how you feel. And you are in support of being at ease, being pleased, playful, having fun, enjoying yourself, not feeling burdened and stressed and strained about life and guilty and shame and obligation. You see, because that's what a lot of women feel. Women have this in their consciousness for a long time, that it's been affecting them and creating problems for them, and they think men are being bad to them. It's women who are not caring for themselves. It's women who are not feeling secure. See, that's why I'm a champion of women's spiritual, psychological, experiential development. You know. So, if you have grown yourself up, and if you are feeling up to it, like I'm living as an adult, I have a life, I'm enjoying my life, I have support systems, I'm progressing, I have what I want to do with my life, I'm doing it, you don't want to lose yourself in life. So a lot of women want to lose themselves, right? So you must check to see if you know women who lose themselves in others. They want to be a wife, they want to be a mother, and they lose themselves in their role. There's no sense of selffulness and living in support of their own self-satisfied, etc. So a lot of women lose themselves in relationships. They're looking for relationships to become somebody's wife, to become somebody's mother, to play a role, to be in an identity. They feel that gives them some kind of, specialness. I'm somebody now because I'm somebody's wife. If I'm not somebody's wife, I'm nobody. I'm somebody's mother. They lose themselves in a role, in an identity. And some people are trying to find themselves in a relationship. Like if somebody likes me and wants me, that means I have value. If somebody likes me and wants me, and I please them and I make them happy, this is me having some purpose in life. So some people want to lose themselves in relationship. You want to check up if that's you. People can't stand to be alone and they just need to be with somebody. They'll lose themselves in a relationship. Or some people are waiting for somebody to find them and find them attractive. They don't want to have a relationship with themselves of valuing and encouraging and caring for themselves. They want somebody else to tell them, am I important to you? Yeah, we want our partners to know that. We want to know that we're important to. But this is you got to know that you're important to you in life. You got to care for you. And sometimes women don't want to, and men too, they don't want to give themselves that respect. They don't want to grow up and become women who respect themselves and validate themselves and have a relationship with themselves. They want to have a relationship where somebody else must do the loving of them. They don't want to care for themselves. They want somebody else to care. So you got to check. These are kinds of blocks and barriers. Are you woman enough? You get what I mean? Are you a person in your own right? Are you a person in your own life? Are you relating to life as an individual? Because if you are an individual person and you are a self-benefiting person, then you can actually be caring for another. And you can receive caring. So a lot of women just want to get married. And they have this projected expectations and that feeling like I'm entitled to it, I should be respected. It's the man must be respecting, and they choose men that are disrespecting. They choose men that have low EQ. There's a lot of women choose men with low EQ. You know what I mean? And a lot of women, if you have low EQ yourself, you've got to work on that. EQ means emotional quotient, how you feel about you, your self-esteem, your respect for yourself, how you carry yourself, your self-beneficial ways with other people, who you hang out with, who you interact with, what kind of support you get. You've got to have some kind of self-respect and standards in life, right? So a lot of women don't have self-respect, they don't have standards, they just like the parents told you, got to get married when you're young, you're going to grow up and get married, and they're hoping and wishing that they're going to find the right one and they're going to be happy, and they're projected that the man is going to be a certain way. They're not checking to see, is he that way? So what we are learning here is responsibility for your spiritual development, for you to feel the joy of being and living peacefully, the psychological development for you to enjoy expressing yourself, enjoy applying yourself, joyfully apply yourself. Spiritual development, psychological development, developing yourself in life that you can function in life and you can do well in life. You can be successful in life. You've got to develop yourself to become this progressive person, this prosperous person. You've got to do that. You've got to go through a peace consciousness development, a power conscious development, or progress consciousness development, a prosperity. You have to grow up. You have to look at the blocks that you have. I mean, I've had prosperity issues in terms of like moving forward in my life because, I haven't been open to being cared for in my life. I didn't realize it. Like we avoid people's caring. We don't want to be ourselves. We don't want to express, don't presence ourselves. We feel that we're making somebody's life difficult, and we want to be the people who help everybody. So if you've got people-pleasing issues and all that, you've got to work through that. I mean, I'm working through my people-pleasing issues. If you are always there for other people, and you're never there for yourself, or you're never there to ask other people to help you, you're going to have prosperity issues. You've got to develop yourself from peace to progress to prosperity. And only if you're open to prosperity consciousness will you be able to attract the ideally suitable spouse that is yours, that already exists in the world, who is going to please you, satisfy you, and fulfill you. You get what I mean? So, this is now where we talk about receiving your ideally suitable partner. There is a man for you in the world. He's already there. You don't have to pray that he be there, he's already there. You don't have to make him be there, he's the man who's going to love you and adore you. You don't have to pray that God put love and affection in his heart and all that. No. He already has that for you. There's already this person. So this is why I say we're happy with God. God is there for us. We're happy with ourselves. We're there for us. We're happy with our lives. We're enjoying our lives. We're happy with the people and things in our lives. And we're happy that God has put into the world people, things, and experiences that are of value to us. So this is where a healthy woman, if you've grown yourself up, you've gone beyond the childhood trances, you respect yourself, your body, your life, you're open to joy, joyfulness, enjoyment. If you have grown up and you've overcome childhood issues and so on and so forth, then you can actually draw into your life that man who is going to adore you, no matter what your age is, no matter what your height is, no matter what your complexion is, no matter what your no matter what, if you've got health issues or anything like that, if you're blind, whatever it is, there is a man who is there for you that God has put there. There is for us in the world support for our satisfaction. All you got to be is interested in your satisfaction, in this case spousal satisfaction, and all you got to be is valuing of that man. You'll be valuing of that guy. You got to say, I want the partner who satisfies my spousal preferences. I want, as a woman, nothing more in marriage than being spousally satisfied. You see, now women don't usually do that. They say, I want a man, I want to get married, but the last thing on their mind is spousal satisfaction. So if you do it this particular way, I'm at peace, I'm in my power, I'm progressing, I'm playing a role in my life to benefit me, I'm progressing in my life easily, I'm getting the support I require from friends, from other people, I'm allowing myself to be uplifted by people, I'm learning, my mind is educated, I'm moving, I'm getting support, I have a mentor or I have a coach, like this kind of thing, and you now are on an upward spiral. You are actually playing that God is playing a positive role in your life, a role that you can't play and nobody can play, and He's playing that same role in everybody else's life that you can't play for them and they can't play for you. You know there's a role for you to play in your life. You're playing that role. You know that your life is yours and you are supporting having a life and enjoying your life as a single person. And as a single person, you have a life that involves other people that are supportive. You are connecting. You are happy in your life. You're an unmarried, happy woman. Now, you can be supported to becoming a happy married wife, a happier married wife. So that's what we're talking about here. And again, I want to tell you that I want you to become aware of the dangers involved. And that's why we're here to protect you from your own creating problems for you. And here to prevent you creating your own heartbreak. And you got to be aware of things like men wanting you for their own reasons. You can't be an excited child and feel like a child. And, this is all about really you being interested in your spousal satisfaction. This is a part of life. Like how you get work satisfaction, you get spousal satisfaction. Like I like living in Cape Town. I told you Durban is a bit too much for me. Like if you go to some areas where there is a township of some kind, and you notice the people there living with a certain township mentality. I feel like that in Durban, right? So I just feel I don't live there. I'm not saying there's anything bad or wrong about it. I feel like being around people that are negative, making themselves sick, thinking strange things, and being in community with them, no thank you. It's unsupportive of me. I rather be like the prophet. He went to the mountain. There's a mountain here. I came to the mountain. And I'd rather be here, connect with my Creator every day, get closer to Him, purify my heart, learn to care for myself. I can stay in Durban, have my mother cook for me and look after me and mother me. But I choose to stay here. Literally, no family and all that. It serves me in my development. It serves me in my life, in my quality. I can work from anywhere in the world, right, with a laptop. But I stay in Cape Town. So it's important for me, like where I live, how I feel with the people I'm with. And I have a life. And so I can begin to look at spousal satisfaction. I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying my life. I can enjoy spousal satisfaction as an adult. And so you want to make sure that you're aware of the risks involved. That if you have patterns of failed relationships, if you have been used and abused, if you use and abuse yourself for other people, if you have had issues growing up with your parents, if you felt abandoned, betrayed, these are things you got to address first. Otherwise, these issues are going to contaminate your relationship. You're going to want somebody thinking that they're going to be the father that you never had. You know what I mean? And that man is not going to be, that man is not there to be your father. A woman is not there to be a man's husband, a man's mother. You know what I mean? And so there's an ideally suitable spouse to be drawn in. This is the good news. The good news. See, how nice is that? That if you're responsible at all these levels, and you're feeling supported at all these levels, like environment is very important, right? So I told you, for me, I feel supported and feel comfortable in the environment that I'm in. Even in Cape Town, I live in Pinelands. I like the Pinelands environment. It's green trees. It's lovely. I enjoy it. I'm interested in me and how I feel, and supporting me feel comfortable in my life. Now that my life is, working out and I'm opening up, now I can begin to focus on spousal satisfaction. It took me a while to grow up, but now I can focus on spouse. Now I can focus on prosperity. This is where I'm focusing now of being of value in the world to other people and having them be of value to me. We can be the best spouses we can be to the best spouses we can have, right? Let's write that down. You can be the best spouse you can be to the best spouse you can have. Meaning, if I'm caring for me, and I know what it means to care for me, I'm allowing and supportive of me, I'm allowing me to make choices and decisions that suit me, I allow me to enjoy myself and be happy. Guess what? I can allow a woman to enjoy herself and be happy. You get what I mean? I can care for me, I can care for her. So you want to choose, you want to be self-available, so that you can care for others. If you care for you, you can let others care for you, and you can care for others. If you don't care for you, you won't let others care for you, and you won't care for others. And similarly, if you choose a partner that doesn't care for themselves, they won't care for themselves, they won't care for you, they won't let you care for them. They'll end up saying you don't care, they'll blame you, they'll find fault with you, drama, trauma, all that sort of thing. So in this particular section, I want to talk about the method. The method. If you are the woman that is secure, self-full, and you're living a satisfied life, you're socially connected, you have a good social support system, you're playing a positive role in your life, then you can go ahead and move from personal satisfaction to spousal satisfaction. Spousal satisfaction is an extension of personal satisfaction. Personal satisfaction is the caring that you are to you in your life, the role that you play in your life for you to feel good and enjoy your life. That's personal satisfaction. Spousal satisfaction is when you let in somebody into your life, your ideally suitable life partner, who is going to be of value to you, is going to add to your life. He adores you, he cares about you because you care about you, he's attracted to you, he finds you appealing. You are for him, he is for you, he's already in the world. And so you can actually be premaritally, spousally enhancing. You can be self-enhancing as a woman. A person can become self-enhancing. So what does it mean to become self-enhancing? To become self-enhancing means you pray in a certain way that allows that man who is going to satisfy you to come into your life. I want to remind you, if you are not interested in your satisfaction, you can't attract that man into your life. It will only work for you is if you are caring for you. If you care for you in your mind, you care for you in your body, you care for you in your life, if you are personally developed, if you are taking responsibility, if you are participating positively in your life, that man will adore you. But if you are self-abandoning, that man can't come into your life. You have to be self-honoring, life-valuing. You've got to be your true self to actually draw that man into your life. And I'll explain to you why you got to be the selfful woman and the woman who is really in touch with your true self. And we'll end with an exercise today. But I'm going to do it in two parts. I'm going to explain and then do the exercise with you. So, firstly, there is a man who already is in this world, and you can be thankful for him. You can say, thank you, God, for my ideally suitable spouse. He's already in the world. And he's a blessing of God for you as you are a blessing for him. He already is attracted to you. He finds you appealing. He would enjoy you because you're living as an adult woman and you're enjoying your life as an adult woman, and he admires you, he finds you appealing, he appreciates you, he already has all the feeling for you. You don't have to find him, and you don't have to make him love you, you don't have to make him care for you, you don't have to, try and change him. He's exactly a way that suits you and serves you, and he is for you. That is the grace of God. And you can be thankful for that. You can say, I'm so grateful that my ideally suitable life partner already exists. And for me, all I got to do is receive him. As a progressive woman, all I got to do is receive him. So how do you receive your ideally suitable spouse? You receive your ideally suitable spouse by switching on your love magnet. Now this is scientific words for saying how you pray to God, right? But I'm going to go with the scientific way because it's a non-religious teaching, non-spiritual teaching. This is where we're talking about attracting to your ideally suitable spouse. You know that he's in the world, and you know that you have to attract him to you. And there's a way to attract him to you. And that's what you got to do. You got to find out what is the way for me to attract my ideally suitable spouse to me. And you got to do the thing called attract your ideally suitable spouse to you. If you do that, you are what we would say premaritally magnetically receptive, or premaritally magnetically attractive. So all you got to do, what I've got to assist you in, is shifting your love frequency or your love identity or your love magnetics. You just have to have a change in the way you feel about marriage and being in the ideally suitable man. That's all you got to do. You just got to change feeling. That's why I asked our sister earlier, I said, what are you not feeling that you want to feel? If it were so that it was the case now, how would you feel? Can you feel that feeling like it is happening now? Right? So the work that we're going to do with you, if you are ready to do this work, is shift your magnetics. Pray. That's the work. We're going to help you pray for what you want. Now this will work for anything. We're using it in relationships. And so that's really what the work is about. So I want you to understand that each one of you has an ideally suitable life partner in the world. You don't have to find them, and you don't have to make them love you. They already exist. They're ideally suitable for you. They already are. Do you understand that? They already are. You can rest assured that out there somewhere, the one that is right for you is there. Your job is to draw him in. Your job is to attract him in. You don't know who it is. Right? You don't have to know who it is. But what you can know is that this person is the best person for you, better than you think he is. You understand? So you don't know who this person is, but you know they're in the world, and you know that they are suitable for you. They're going to fulfill your spousal preferences, and you're happy about that, and that you want to feel a sense of valuing for this man, that I value. This is something that is valuable. Let's say valuing. I don't like to use the word valuable, but I value this man. This man is of value to me. The one who is going to support me in spousal satisfaction has value. I value him. He's a life asset, right? And assets have value, right? So you got to have valuing for this person. But there is a person who I value dearly, who will fulfill my spousal preferences and support my spousal satisfaction. He's better for me than I can know, and when I meet him, I will recognize the things that I want he has, or he gives me, and we will feel this affinity. We can be without each other, and we can be happy apart, but together we are happier. We're not just there to play house and make babies and get married for the sake of getting married. We here for connection, So maybe it might be the right time for me to ask you a question. If I told you there's a guy, he's got good habits and he's nice, and will you marry him? What is your answer to that question? If I told you there's a guy, he's nice, and he's got good habits, he doesn't smell, he doesn't have bad habits, he's a nice guy, will you marry him? Who will marry him? He's a nice guy, and he doesn't have any bad habits, So I got one no. So why won't you marry him? Why won't you marry him?
Based on the teaching, I would assess if he would satisfy my spousal preferences.
Okay.
Doesn't mean if he's a nice guy, suitable.
That's right. Now, back in the day, if you asked your mothers, well, you couldn't be there to ask your mothers, but if people ask your mothers, there's a nice guy, we know a nice guy, and will you marry him? Is he nice? Yes. They probably will say yes. Do you understand? So things have changed in society. Back in the day, women wanted to get married to be taken care of financially, and they wanted somebody who would provide. These are the kinds of reasons why women married previously. They wanted somebody to provide for them, as long as he didn't kick and boot them, and he had bad habits, and he wasn't violent and all that, they'll marry him. But today's girls, as you can hear, and today's people, we're living in a very different time. Today, we don't just want somebody to look after us and cook for us and clean for us, or give us money to spend and take care of us. Today, people are more individuated. They're like, look, we want to marry to spend our lives with somebody, And we want to be with somebody who understands us, who we understand, and we feel comfortable with, and they support us in being who we want to be, and we support them. We want a good fit relationship. We want a relationship that is meaningful and purposeful. We want a partner that we can enjoy life with. Now, I'm not saying that all of you must want this. If some of you want some nice guy who's going to give you a place to live and food to eat, and doesn't kick you and beat you and swear and shout you, and you can fulfill your financial requirements and your sexual requirements. Back in the day, women would say they marry for financial requirements and sexual requirements, and that's it. As long as that is that, it's done. Today, women are like, hey, hold on, we earn our own money. You know what I mean? Like, things have changed. And you know what? We don't want just somebody to have their way with us. We want a guy, if he's going to be with us and we're going to share ourselves. Women are more self-respecting today in a different sense. You get what I mean? So, if this is you, then this method is right for you. Even if it's not you, you can use the method. It will work. But if you really like saying, I'm me, I have individuality, I have a personality, I want somebody with an individuality and personality that complements me, matches me. I want a person that adds to my life, that I add to. He values me, I value him. So that's what we're getting at here when we say somebody you value. Not just he's got money and he pays my bills, or not just that he's a man and he can satisfy me sexually. Sometimes women don't even get that sexual part of it, right? Because they're not clear about what they want, and then their whole lives come and go, and then they are living lives of quite desperation, and sometimes they look for extramarital relations and all that, to satisfy what is normal for them. So you got to know, like, if there is somebody out there who's going to add to your life, who's going to satisfy your spouse, you're going to value him for who he is. And you can start doing that now. You can start saying, thank you, God, for the man that is there, that you've created to partner with, to dwell in tranquility, who's got love and compassion. We have satisfaction between us. You can do that. I value that man. Now, most women don't know that there is a person who's ideally suitable life partner for them. They are looking with their eyes. Is it Faisal? Is it Freddie? Is it Jacob? Is it, Ilyas? Is it this person? They don't know that you don't know who this person is. But what you can know is this person is, and he's suitable for you. So, all you got to do is draw him in. So what happens is, women don't know this man exists, and they don't know they can draw him in. They don't know. And so what happens is, women end up living their lives waiting for a man, in want of a man, and that man the ideal partner is not drawn to them. They fail to draw the ideal partner. He's there, but they don't activate their love magnetics, their love identity. They don't get themselves ready to have this man come into their lives. So I give it to you like this. It's like a love magnet. If you switch on your love magnet generates a field around you. And that field will draw that man in. That's the way I'm going to explain it to you. It's a scientific way. It's prayer. But that's the best symbol I can use for you. That God has put a man in the world that serves and suits you ideally for who you are. That's your progressive self. And if you are your progressive self and you switch on your love magnet, that man will come into your life. And when he comes into your life, you will recognize his features as suitable for you, and you will recognize that there's an affinity between you. You're both don't need, sometimes when somebody meets a woman, they can't stop them. They have to rush to get married. Let's set a date, let's plan everything. And then after that, there's a lot of disappointment and all that. So this is, we're not talking about it, doing it like that, where you meet somebody and you say, I can't do without you, I can't live without you, I need you, I need you, I need you in my life. All that is neediness, right? That means there's a child there, some unmet needs, hoping and wishing, thinking that this is going to make them happy. In the meantime, they're not already happy. They're thinking that it's going to make them happy. Your partner is not going to make you happy. I want you to understand this. Your life partner is going to make you happier. Get that? Do you understand the difference between that? Your life partner is not going to make you happy. They're going to make you happier. So you're happy without them, and you can live without them. But with them, you are happier. You are happier. So a lot of women don't know that they can be receptive, magnetically receptive, that they can attract their life partner to them. So when they don't know this, they are magnetically unreceptive. They're operating in a premaritally self-defeating way. They haven't gotten this education. They're not premaritally aware. So they're premaritally unaware. So what happens is they're living their life. They don't switch on their love magnet. They don't draw their ideally suitable partner to them. So the ideally suitable partner is somewhere, and he's not coming because they haven't switched on the love magnet. The attractive field, the gravitational field, hasn't been activated. This is how I can explain prayer to you. I can tell you, just so that you understand as a model, that the earth has a gravitational field. Everything in the gravitational field falls to the earth. I can tell you a magnet has a magnetic field. Everything in the field was drawn to the magnet. So similarly, if you have a love identity, if you have your love magnet switched on, a field of energy is drawn that will attract that man to you. When you see him, you will notice that there are features about him that are very appealing and attractive, and there'll be an affinity between you two, meaning there'll be a magnetism between you two, not a neediness. I need you, let's plan the date, let's get married as soon as possible. No, we're not in a rush, we're not hurrying, we'll move forward, it feels right, we'll pace the relationship. You get what I mean? So relationship pacing. A lot of people, can we write relationship pacing? The importance of relationship pacing. When people meet each other and they get all excited, there's no pacing there, then you know this is an error. Special love breeds special hate. People who start thinking this man is going to make them happy, sooner or later realize no man can make you happy. But if you are happy, the right man can make you happier. Can we write that one down too? Relationship pacing, and no man can make you happy. But if you are happy, a man can make you happier. That he can do. You get what I mean? So a woman might get excited and think, this man is the right one for me, is going to make me happy. And they don't pace the relationship. They rush, they get excited, they just want to go forward. So if you are doing this correctly, you will observe the man, you'll recognize features that serve you, there will be an affinity, and the relationship will be paced. That we're okay without each other, we don't need each other. We enjoy each other's company. That's how you know it's a soulful relationship. That's now a marriage that will last. Where people don't need to be, the man is not saying I need a mother to look after me, and the girl is not saying I need a father to take care of me. Both people are happy adults, and they're realizing we have our own lives and we're happy. But when we're together, it meets certain spousal requirements that we can't meet ourselves. So a husband, a wife can be support for you that you can't be for you, and a friend can't be for you, and a parent can't be for you, and a child can't be for you. A spousal relationship is a unique relationship where you can be, it's a relationship of intimacy, closeness. Get what I mean? So soulful relationships are intimate relationships where you can be who you are with your partner, and your partner allows you, accepts you, and appreciates you. Now listen carefully. Your ideally suitable partner is one who will allow you, accept you, and appreciate. That's your ideally suitable partner. If you marry an unsuitable partner and you try to make him an ideally suitable partner, that's not really the best thing to do. In fact, it's the worst thing to do. This is what a lot of women do. A lot of women marry incorrectly. They marry not their ideally suitable partner. Either because their mind is telling him he's the right guy, either he wants her for his own reasons. You get what I mean? But he's not the suitable guy. So women marry unsuitable men, and then they want to change them into the suitable guy. He's not that guy. You married the wrong guy. That's it. You get what I mean? Now, a lot of women don't want to accept that. So they'll be like, no, no, no. He must change. He used to be nice. Now he's not. In the meantime, they rushed into something. They didn't heal themselves completely. They didn't break through patterns. And they didn't energize what they wanted. They didn't show God what they wanted. And they didn't let God send to them the right man for them. Is this making sense? Are you understanding? Do you need me to repeat anything? Are you getting this? Everybody has their ideally suitable partner. He's already in the world. Your job is to make sure you're functioning as an adult and a self-caring adult, and you can learn to care for yourself enough to let that caring in. You must become a woman who cares for you and cares for you enough to let that man who cares for you care for you. Instead of being a woman who doesn't care for you, and you choose a man who doesn't care for you, and you try to, as a woman who doesn't care for you, you try to make a man who doesn't care for you care for you. You get what I mean? This is different. This is a different reality. I want to also ask you another question. Imagine if you could go 100 years, the woman you are today, right? Some of you have gone to school, you've completed matric. Some of you, even if you didn't go to school, you've got an education informally. You're a smart woman, you can survive in the world, you're functional, you've learned to, you use your smarts. So, whether you finished matric, you didn't, whether you had a formal education, informal education, some of you, you use computers, well, all of you probably. Some of you are doing jobs that only men did. Some of you earn more than men. You know what I mean? Some of you drive you own your own cars, you drive your own cars. Some of you own your own properties. Now I want you to go 100 years ago, not just 50 years ago, to your parents' time. If you want to go to your mother's time, it's okay, 50 years ago, let's just say, right? Or you're going to go 100 years ago. I want to ask you, can you imagine what the woman, if you went as this woman today to your mother when she was your age, and your mother looked at you, can you imagine what you would look like to your mother as the woman you are today? Or let's say go 100 years ago. Let's say you go to your granny when she was your age, as a young woman, your age as a young woman, or wherever you are. Can you imagine how your mother would look at you or how your granny would look at you? You are using a computer. You're using a cell phone. You are sending messages. You're phoning everywhere in the world. You got technology. You're like a computer scientist for them. Your mother, your granny, what life they had coming from India if they did, or from wherever they came from, from their world. Cook and bake and this and that. Now imagine you pitching up there. And you pitching up as an educated, formally, informally, you got your own car, you got your own thing. How do you think your mother would look at you? How do you think you'd fit into that time? If you went there, how would you expect the woman of your mother's generation or the woman of your granny's generation to look at you? Would they say, welcome, so nice, you like us? What do you think they would look at you? I'm trying to see that if you can see how far women have evolved when it comes to education and equality between the sexes and ownership of property, what do you think your mother would look at you and say? Would she say, you're normal, we like you, you fit in, you belong here? Do you think you would belong to the woman of that time? Would you want to be like them? Would you exchange roles with them and say, I want to lose all my smarts. I just want to be like you, cook and clean and carry on. Okay, very good. Now, can anybody tell me, why do you think I'm asking you this question? Why do you think I'm asking you this question? Would anybody like to share? Why do you think I'm asking you this question? Why do you think I'm asking this question?
our future selves will also look at how we are today and
That is
have that
correct.
same view.
That is correct. 50 years from now, your children or grandchildren, 100 years from now, your great-grandchildren, if they come from the future and they tell you about marriage and how joyous the marriage is and how they are so married and deeply valuing their partner, how men and women live in a way that is unimaginable to us today, compared to how your mothers and fathers and how you may have married in your first marriage and how people are married today. Imagine when they come from the future and they say, you were developed beyond your mother and granny when it comes to smartness. But we became progressive. We learned to care for ourselves, our bodies, our lives. We learned to let caring men care for us. Imagine those children, grandchildren, the people of the future coming back and looking at you and laughing at you and saying, hell, no frickin' way. These women don't care for themselves. These women don't want men to care for themselves. In the future, women are progressive and they know how to have men who care for themselves. The women in the future are so supported and all that, they would run away from here. Does that make sense to any one of you? Does that make sense to you? The change that you have gone through, that the generations that will go through ahead and they come back to here, is worlds apart. You are part of a very privileged meeting today. This is a meeting of the future. The woman that you can become and the marriages that you can live today is the woman of the future and the marriages of the future. What we are having here is a conversation, even when it comes to faith. In the future, when people talk about faith and God and all that, it's going to be very different. Imagine the children and grandchildren of the future, they're coming in and they're hearing you talk your rubbish about God didn't answer my prayer and God kept it away from me for a reason. And imagine they come from the future and they hear your superstition and your ignorance and they say, hell no, we don't want to stay here with these people. You can't handle it at this time. So I want you to consider that you have the opportunity, being part of a group like this, being part of an educational process like this, it's of the future. And you have the opportunity, if you want to be a role model for the future. There were women who role modeled development while the world was very imbalanced. But they stood and they fought for women's rights and they fought for women's respect. And here we are today. You understand? So some of you will become the leaders of the future generations because you will no longer betray yourself and you will no longer live out marriages that are unsatisfying. You can be the first group en masse as a group. You can be the first people of whom we know. There are other women in the world doing it too, with other people, with other teachers. It's happening, right? So you can be part of a leading edge of evolution in society. This is a leading edge. You don't have to end up blaming husbands for generations to come. You don't have to end up. You can start taking responsibility and saying, hey, I want to become premaritally informed. I want to play a premaritally self-enhancing role in my life. I want to actually attract that man that's there for me. I want to work on my magnetics to get that man. Get what I mean? You can do that. Women in the future will be doing it like normal. Like, what do you mean? Anything else besides this? You get what I mean? Would that be something that you are interested in? Would you like to bring in the future? Would you like to break through this time of women and how they're living and be a leader for your daughters, for your granddaughters, be a leader for the women of the future? Because that's what you have here, the opportunity. You have the opportunity to be informed that this is the situation. Women have never known that they can care for themselves, and to the degree that they care for themselves, there's a man waiting who cares for them. They've never known that. And they've never known how to draw that man into their life. So what have women done? If they didn't know that, what have they done? So we have to look at the legacy. What is the legacy that you have been given? What has been happening? So women have not been progressive, they haven't been caring for themselves, and they take men who want them for their own reasons, or they take any man that they can get because they want to get married and they're feeling bad that they're not married and all that sort of thing. You get what I mean? So there's an evolution happening in society. So there are still some women, despite the opportunities to learn, grow and develop, they are not developing their minds, they are not becoming more autonomous, they're not learning to drive a car, they're not learning to function in the world as equal with men. And so we call them non-smart women. They don't want to go to college, they don't want to learn, they don't want to participate. They just want a man to take care of them. These are dependent women. We call them non-smart women. They don't want to be a person in their own right. Although things have changed in society and women have their own personhood, these women are like, no, we don't want our own personhood. We want to be somebody's wife. We want to be somebody's mother. And so they are in a situation where they have to get married, and it's quite urgent, especially if they don't have parents taking care of them, or if their parents feel that they are a burden. They are in a situation under pressure to get married. Do you get that? Women who are not autonomous. That doesn't mean you must have gone to college or university. It just means you can think for yourself. It just means you are interested in you and being autonomous. You're not going to leave yourself to be a needy child. Need somebody to look after you. So one person got it. Are you getting it? That there are women in the world, they are non-smart women, they are dependent women. For them, it's a lot of pressure to get married. They have to take what they get. Do you understand that? They don't have the luxury of saying, I can be by myself, I can be myself for a while longer. They like, sooner I get married, sooner somebody is looking after me. I need to get married in a hurry. They are in a lot of pressure. And so they don't have the pick of the choice. They're desperate. They have to take what they get. And when they get married, they have to stay there. Does that make sense? Because they can't leave. So smart women are one step up. They like, we don't have to rush to get married. We're autonomous. We got our own money. We can function. We can figure things out. So they don't have to rush. They don't have to take what they get, smart women. So smart women don't have to take problematic guys. Desperate women who are non-smart, dependent women, they may have to take problematic guys. Smart women don't have to take problematic guys. And smart women, if they do find out that the relationship is problematic, they can leave. Non-smart women have to stay. They have to stay if it's problematic. But now we're going from non-smart to smart, which is what the change that has happened in society up until this point. Now we go from smart to progressive. It's another change. So while a smart woman says, I don't have to take a problematic guy, a progressive woman says, not having a problematic guy is not enough for me. I must have a man who is supportive of my satisfaction. Not having a problematic guy doesn't mean you have a pleasant, pleasing, pleasurable guy. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay. Some women have to take problematic guys and they have to stay in problematic relationships. Smart women will say, we don't have to take a problematic guy. We don't have to stay in a problematic situation. A progressive woman says, I don't care that he's not problematic. I want somebody who's satisfying for me, pleasing for me. I want to be a pleased wife. That he's not problematic, I don't care. I want to please, is he pleasing? And progressive woman, it's not enough for them that the relationship is not problematic. People say, but it's not problematic. He's not a drunk. He's not a drug addict. He's not bad. He's not hitting you. Why you want to leave? Well, it's not working for me. It's not adding to my life. This relationship is not making me happier. Progressive women will choose men only if those men make them happier. They will not choose men trying to get these men to make them happy. You understand? Dependent women are saying like, he must make me happy, look after me, you know. So that's why you'll find a lot of you ladies have this challenge. You're stuck. You don't know how to go forward in relationship. You got your own. You're not that needy, looking for a man to make you happy. You're already happy in a certain sense. But you're not the progressive woman who's saying, I want to be happier. Do you understand where the women of today are stuck? They're not in that first mother's category, but they're not in the next category of progressive. They're not open to being happier. They don't know that a man in marriage, in relationship, is to serve me in happierness, not in happiness. So, is this making sense to you? Are you understanding the journey forward? You choose a man for happierness. And if you don't choose a man for happierness, you could be choosing a man because you're desperate for one, or you're just thinking he's not a bad one. But those two, whether you're desperate for a man or you're thinking he's not a bad guy, let me take him, that doesn't ensure that you're satisfied. So when I speak with a lot of women, especially young women, I ask, well, what do you want? They can't tell me. Because their mothers didn't know, they don't have role models. They can't tell me. Now at least you're getting an education, premarital education, you're getting enlightened. You realize, I want to get married for spousal satisfaction. I want a man who serves me in happiness. You see, now you're becoming aware and you're realizing this is what has kept me where I've been. I didn't know any of this. I didn't know there's a man already there. I didn't know that I've got to become magnetically receptive as a progressive woman. As a happy woman, I can receive this man who's going to make me happier. I didn't know that. I didn't know how to do that. So what have I been doing? I've been sitting around trying to figure out, where's my guy? I didn't draw him in. I didn't generate the field that draws him in. I'm looking for him. I'm in want of a man. I'm waiting for a man. I'm waiting. How many women are waiting? Why are you not married? I can't find the right man. I'm still waiting. I'm waiting. Get what I mean? So, waiting for a man is like I'm waiting to get married, is an idea that a lot of women have, a superstitious idea. The way you get married is when a man chooses you, he proposes to you, and if you look at him and you figure out if he's the right one, then you marry him, then you got a chance at being happy. Now, I'm going to say that again for the lie that it is. Women believe erroneously that what gets them married is a man who has interest in them and proposes them. And if they like the man, then they can be married. Tell me, did you ever think like that? That the way we'll get married is if it's a nice guy, God sends us a nice guy, or if a nice guy likes us, and he proposes to us, and if we like him, that's how we get married. Does anybody, am I making this up? I'm not a woman, I don't know. But this is what I've heard. Is it true? Is this how women, when they're growing up, they think that this is how I'll get... So how do you think you get married when you're growing up? How do you think when you're growing up? What do you think? I'd like to know. How did you all think before you came to this classroom? That you, if I ask you why you're not already married in a satisfying relationship, I call this the $1 million question. What would your answer be? The answer is usually, I didn't find the right guy is not interested in me, whatever. So, your hand is up. Confirmed that how women have been and how women get married is by using their premaritally uninformed minds. They got a child mind. Nobody taught them about marriage, what marriage is about, what are the joys of marriage, how you can enjoy life. So, abandoned. Nobody there to tell you. Getting married, this is how you get married. No proper premarital education. Nobody to tell you how to marry correctly. That's what we are offering here. Here we are teaching you how to marry correctly. We're showing you the mistakes. What are the mistakes? So you didn't accept that you wanted what you wanted. God had a man in store for you, and you didn't draw him in. You get what I mean? You used your head. You used your own intelligence. That's why I say you can't know who is right for you. If you have a vested interest, you must release it. Because who's right for you, you're going to have who's right for you. You understand? You don't have to worry about that. That's not for you to concern yourself about. Remember, in the Quran there's a verse that says it's not for you to find a way out for you. It's God to find a way out for you. When God finds the way for you, its sources unknown, ways unimaginable. It's for you to put your faith and trust in God that He will accomplish your purpose. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm telling you is it's not just me telling you don't worry, be happy, be positive. I'm telling you something from scriptural. It's scriptural. What I'm telling you is scriptural. That is not for you to figure out. God will figure it out. You will recognize the hand of God in your life when you do what I'm teaching you to do, how to work in this particular way. So, just to move forward from there, women have not known that there is a man who will suit them for who they are, for what they want. They have not known that. And they haven't known how to pray him in. They haven't known how to do that. So what do? They have these ideas in their head that somebody will come, I must use my mind and figure out, and that's what they do. So women will think they're so smart, they went to college, they passed, so they're going to use their mind. They don't know they are messing it up by using their mind. You're not supposed to use your mind, you're supposed to use your magnetics. You understand? You're supposed to use your magnetics. You're supposed to use prayer, not your mind. They don't know how to do that. So that's what we're going to learn here, So the big difference between what women have learned up until this point and what I'm teaching is that you have the ability within through God to create yourself to be soulfully married. How liberating is that? You don't have to wait for a man. You don't have to wait for a man. You are the one who gets yourself soulfully married. And that's what we're here to teach you. I'm here to teach you how you, as a grown-up woman who is caring for yourself, how you can draw that ideally suitable man who will be the one that you'll enjoy spending the rest of your life with. You understand? That is a possibility for you. And so women are like, they don't know about this, right? And so they like waiting in want. I don't know, where is he waiting? And they don't know they can get themselves soulfully married. Now imagine, instead of waiting and wanting, get on with it and get yourself soulfully married. God will find a way for you, sources unknown, ways unexpected. So how wonderful is that? How do you feel about that? You don't have to be waiting. Is it him? Is it wow, somebody's not marrying me. I don't know. You can do this, use a solution. Don't use your head, use the solution. Do you understand? Get yourself magnetically activated. That's all you got to do. That's what me, the program, the facilitators are here. We are here to assist you to get yourself magnetically activated. Once you get yourself magnetically activated, it happens. You don't have to make it happen. It happens. It's the will of God in your favor, right? So, are you pleased? You hear? Are you getting something out of this? Feel good now. You see, that's freedom. Freedom is I don't need anything or anybody to feel good. God's my creator. I'm in the care of God. I'm alive. I'm a human being. I can see. I can speak. I can see. I can reason. Guidance has come to me. I can feel good now. Security is a natural state of well-being. I can allow myself to experience the natural state of just being and feeling supported is freedom. You see, freedom. And I can choose to be caring to me. I am choosing. People say, oh, I must eat now. Well, I can't eat what I used to eat. Ashraf is telling me, is controlling me. No, no, no. You choose to value yourself or not. You choose to value your life or not. You choose to value your happiness or not. That's your choice. That's your choice. You see, freedom. You're free to choose, to feel good. I choose every day. Tonight I'll be singing and dancing and having fun by myself. Just by myself. I have a great time. I have a party for one every night. Not with anybody. Just by myself. I have fun every night. I'm free to do that. I'm doing that. It raises my vibration, improves my immunity, my health improves. Only good comes out of it. You get what I mean? So I feel good. I'm free to boost my immunity that way, improve the quality of my feeling state, enjoy myself. I do it. I'm free to raise my vibration. I do it. And so what we're saying here is that you're also free to let in a person who's going to care for you that already exists, who's suitable for you, who serves you. You're free to let him in. And you know what? It's in your hands. It's not that I'm waiting for a man. It's up to him. If he wants me, if he agrees. This is freedom. What I'm teaching you is pure freedom. If you only know, some of you might be grasping what's going on here. But if you only know what we are doing here, it's so much beyond attracting a partner. It includes that. It's about living, receiving God's good in this world and the world beyond. It's about waking up from the satanic trances. If you only know what we're doing here, and the benefit it is for you in this world through your death and beyond. Your whole worldview was rocked, right? When you came in and you thought you were doing so well, and Amina's thinking she's so holy and she knows God and she's been educated in a religious way and all that. And she realizes this is just some ideas that I've had, you know what I mean? And she's big enough and courageous to correct these ideas into awareness and feel liberated. Your whole worldview is changing. That's how you change. This is transformational. This is how it happens. You can't just get information from me and just get your partner. You go to transform. You get what I mean? It's your transformation that's going to attract him into your life. It's your transformation. You know, so this is not about what must I do to attract my partner. It's, am I being a happy woman? Am I inspired by being a happier woman? If I'm a happy woman and I'm inspired to being a happier woman, and I recognize there's a man out there who's going to serve me and suit me in my spousal side, can I feel good about that? Can I feel good that God has given me this in my hands? It's got nothing to do with any man. It's got to do with me. I can invoke, I can draw him into, or I can just sit and carry on, twiddle my thumbs like other women and think, is he the one? Is he the one? Why is he not like me? Why is it? So this is the two mistakes that women make, right? One, they are in the self-frustrating role. They are operating in a premaritally self-defeating way. They are focused on the man. Where is he? You know, is he the one? They're thinking that they have to get married. They're so obsessed with getting married. They're not married. They should be married. So I'm going to clarify this for you. I'm just showing you basically. So each one of you have to ask yourself the question, do I fall into type 1 or do I fall into type 2? Being a woman who hasn't been premaritally educated and I wasn't shown how to draw my man into my life, have I been the woman who feels like there's no man for me and there's no male interest, you know, and I'm like concerned and worried I might never get married. I'm so focused on not being married and, you know, when will I find the right man? I'm waiting for the right man. Do you fall in that category that you are not married and you might enter into the never married category of life? Or are you in the category where a lot of men give you attention, but you're thinking, I don't know. You know, which category are you in? Type 1 or type 2? You know what I mean? Anybody? I got one. Rabia says she's wanting and waiting and wanting. Type 2. So men do give you this type 2, Rashida. Alright. Yeah. Rabia, you want to add anything to that? Okay. So thank you for your sharing and your honesty. Thank you. So I want you to understand both these types are making the same mistake. Both these types are not drawing into their life their ideally suitable spouse. Both these types are not operating in a self-enhancing way. They're not operating in a self-enhancing way. They're operating in a self-defeating way. Type 1 is self-disappointing. Type 1 is self-frustrating. And type 2 is self-dissatisfying. So both these types believe that, they're not married, they must focus on trying to get married, and either where the man chooses them, then they can think about whether he's the right one, or they might be thinking, I know who's the right one, but the right one doesn't want me. They're using their premaritally uninformed minds. The women who fall into type 2, they have men approaching them for the men's own reasons. You understand? The men that are approaching them for their own reasons. That means the men that you're attracting is not the ideally suitable one that you haven't drawn to you. The men that are coming to you and proposing you or interested in you, they want you for their own reasons. They are not the ideally suitable man. So if both types recognize there's a single universal solution, there's a solution to this. Let's apply the solution. What does the solution do? The solution ensures that that man that is suitable for you is attracted to you, is drawn to you. When I say attracted to you, I mean drawn to you. So there might be many men who find you attractive. There might be many men who find you attractive. But we're not talking about that attract. We're talking about where you draw magnetically, where you ask God for and God sends you that ideally suitable partner. So the solution is this. 1.